Hello, welcome back to another video in this Airbnb clone Ruby on Rails series. And in last video, we worked on setting up the basic template for profiles. We haven't worked on the exact UI, but we have the structure now. Uh, by the way, the response for this video series has been really amazing. Those who have been following for like who have finished at least 2 or 3 videos out of these 60, 70 videos, uh, they have given some really great reviews. So I'm really happy for that. And it does motivate me to add some more quality content. So if you like these videos, do subscribe and feel free to comment. So yeah, let's start. So now we are in profile section, right? My profile section. So now we have to decide this is not a host profile. This is a normal user profile who can book properties, wishlist properties, those kind of things. So now we have to decide what kind of things we want to show. So, and till this point, we have been copying Airbnb, but from now we are doing this on our own. I can do this on my own, explain you things, all these blah 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 good, and you won't. There are cases that you won't even think that I have done this thing. You'll think everything is working great, but one of the most common thing in software development is to understand how you should bifurcate pages. Okay, so I'll try to teach this in this particular video. I'll try to teach how we can bifurcate these pages. So I'm creating a profile user profile dashboard here. So the main thing is this should be the central point where user can access all his personal details or some important details related to his. Okay. We could have kept wishlist in this section also, but wishlist is, first of all, it's not that important feature. Okay. And second, we want it to be a bit easily accessible because if they have wishlisted something, if they will visit that second time or third time, there are chances that they will plan to visit that profile. So that's why we are trying to keep it directly here so that it reduces number of clicks for users. Okay. For example, once they visit the website, let's do this. Once they visit the website, they just have to do 2 clicks and they are in their wish list. That's why you will see that in any e-commerce platform, the cart icon is directly there so that you can visit that cart in 1 click. Okay, number of clicks is really important. It's human computer interaction. It's a completely field. In short, we can say it as user experience field, UX field, but it's much more in depth. But the point is that we want important things to be at less clicks. Okay. Now in profiles, obviously 2 clicks have happened, and in this more clicks can happen. Okay. So now let's see what all things we want to show. So for that, my simple concept is because we are showing a dashboard normally depends upon database. So let's go to database and see what all things we have to incorporate. Let me open this. Meanwhile, what I will do is I'll have to write it somewhere. I'll write it here. Yeah, I can use it for now. So I know I can do it a bit easily, but if you're not sure, just go through each and every table and see how that table is related to user because not, right now we are working for user, right? So first is action text, rich text. It's not related to user. It was something that we did for properties. Uh, this is rich text. This part is rich text. So it is not related to user in any way. Okay. So no need to worry about this. Then active storage, active blob, all these three are image related, image upload, image showing image related things. So we will use this, but it is not getting used directly here. We will use it when we want to change the user profile image. Okay. So right now we are not worried about that. Amenities definitely not related to user. Payments, they are related to user. So let's note it down for now. After payments, properties not related to user. Obviously, they can wishlist it, but I've already explained that we have kept it outside just to reduce number of clicks. Okay, it's a better UX. Then after properties, property amenities. It's an association between property and amenities, not related to user. Reservations definitely related to user because a user will reserve properties, right? Reviews definitely. Reviews will be given by users only. Users definitely. Meaning we will show user related details, right? Like their name, address, city, state, country, email, all those details. Wish list, we have already kept it separate, so no need to worry, and all the tables are done. So now let's understand. We will have to keep users. So, by the way, these three things are tied to user, but are tied to a property also. Okay. We are not using properties directly, but a user books a property. So basically, reservation is for that. Makes a payment for the property. So reservation is payments is for that, and review add reviews for the property. So these three things are combined, and this is separate. It's personal information. So what we will do is we'll create two things. One is for users, and one is for accessing these things. So I would to keep it simple, I name it as profile and maybe reservations and payments. I'll see. For second one, I'm not sure. I will have to decide what all things we have used earlier. But this one, we can fix it. So I hope this is clear. I've gone in too much depth here, but I hope this makes sense why we are keeping it like this. And in this, we will understand the UX perspective later on also. So let's go to our views, profiles, show. And in that, let's fix this. Instead of dashboard, I'll name it as profile, and instead of team, I'll name it as, let me check what all, because we will have to create a controller also. So I cannot name it as bookings, I cannot name it as booking payments. So API, okay. I think we can keep it as reservations and payments. Let's keep it like this for now. And we don't need anything else. By the way, if we are using a sidebar, it's generally good to have more than three items, four, five, six, those items, but we have only two. That's fine for now. Uh, but otherwise, it would have been four or five, it would have looked better, but we cannot do anything in this case. So that's one. Now we already have a profile related controller, right? Because of which we are showing this. When we click on this, we want to show some other details. So for that, again, it will be a different page. So three things we have to control. One is, I've explained you this in last video also. Remember this, it is a MVC architecture. From that, remember, replace M with R. So whenever you are creating a new page, RVC. Let's see. I'll close these for now. R is for routes, V is for view that we will create, and C is for controller that we will create. That's the start. Uh, all the reservation and payments related thing, can the user change those things? They can add review, but they cannot change a reservation or they cannot change a payment history, right? So for that, it will be only a show action, and I'll name it as reservations. Okay. So our routes, that's done. Let's create a view. For that, we'll use this name. Uh, our controller name is reservations. So let's use that same name. File, no, not a file, folder, reservations. And we'll create a controller also with the same name. Reservation, sorry, folder, no, file. Reservations controller.rb. Class reservation controller, application controller, and okay. So we have created our RVC. Routes controller name is written. View folder name is written, which is also a controller name. And finally, a controller name. Fine. And in each of these, there are two things. One is the controller name, second is the action. So controller name, action. Same here, controller name, action. Action is show. And same goes for views also. Controller name is already there. Let's create an action. And let's write reservations. And how can we reach this? We can reach this by using reservations here. How do I know this? For that, you can go to Rails routes let's see reservations, enter, and you will see this path reservations slash id. So reservations slash id. Okay, now we need the sidebar first. So in profiles as well as in our reservation, this will be common. So what we can do is we can extract that out. So let's go to our view. Let me create a shared file. I'll name it as underscore profile sidebar dot html dot arb, and I'll cut this aside and paste it. And let's fix the indentation. This is, by the way, end of file. Try to understand this and see how it helps in GitHub. And in general, it's a good practice adding an end of file. Basically, a blank line at the end. Now we have added this, created this file. Now let's render it in our profiles. Render. The path starts with relative views, then followed by shared, then this. So let's do shared profile sidebar. Refresh. Nope. We have to go to profiles slash one. And it's working. Let's do same thing for reservations also. So I'll copy this entire thing, go to my reservations, show.html, paste it here, and I'll just change some details here so that we know that it's a different page. I'll write reservations and payments. Let's get rid of this and let's get rid of all these details because we know we won't be showing input boxes, right? Really sorry for bad throat. Refresh. Okay, it's not clickable right now, but we can go directly, enter, and we can see it's working. Okay, so now we have to make it clickable. So let's do that. For that, we will have to go to our profile sidebar. This is for current item and this is for default items, right? And we will have to convert this into an A tag also. Let's go to our layouts header. I will directly copy this. By the way, this should be account. I'm copying this from Airbnb. In Airbnb, they have named it as account. So I'll copy this. We don't need this A tag. We need link to. Okay, it's similar to A tag only, but in Rails convention we are writing it. And I'll write it as profile. If you want to convert this, it's fine. You can keep this A tag. Link to name will go here, and then we'll have to mention the path, which is same profile path and this. For class, we'll cut this, paste it here. So that's fixed. For role and all, let me for now remove that. It's important for accessibility related details. I'll see if I will create a separate series for accessibility because I think a lot of developers won't be aware of it, and it's an important thing. It's basically how a blind person can use our website or any person with disabilities can use our website. I'm writing do because, and if we are using do, we will have to end this also. Why am I writing do? Because I want to write code in between that, and which is this SVG. So now we can get rid of this. Let's see how it looks. Refresh. Undefined string by keys. This. Okay. Some issue with this. Okay. No, it is correct. Yes. Profile path current user dot id trace of template incursion. This. Let me do one thing. Nope. What am I missing here? Class, we have added it correctly. If I get rid of this and use an empty line, it won't fix it. Let's see. Okay, we haven't used comma. We have used and. If you're using block form of link to, you can't have text content. Okay, okay. If you are using a block form, you can't have text content. No worries. Let's get rid of it. Nice to understand this. Let's refresh and it's working. But now, wait, what happened? Why is this UI getting shifted? It should not get shifted. It is okay, fine, no worries. Uh, Basically, they were saying if you're using a block content, keep the name inside. That's it. Okay, we'll keep it. And we'll use this also. Now, how can we know whether this is our current tab or not? For that, we have these controllers. So what we can do is, I can show it to you first. Let's go to our profiles controller. In that, I'll write raise, refresh, and here, let me increase font size. You can use controller underscore name. This you can use in any Rails controller that is getting accessed, and it will give you profiles. Okay, similar to this at some point, not in this one, but you can use action underscore name also, and you see that all the things do come together. From start, I have been saying in creating page RVC, routes, view, controller, and each of those three things, two things are important: controller name, action name, controller name, action name. So that's it. Controller name, profiles, action name is show. But action name is not important for us because using controller name, we will get profiles, and if it were reservations, it will give us reservations also. So we can use that information. Using that, we can understand which one is current. So let's try to do that. Uh, we have this. Let's get rid of this because it's for current only, and maybe we can use this. If it is current, sorry, we are already in Ruby code, so hash this. Let me do one thing. I'll break it in multiple lines because I can already see it is kind of getting hard to read. Let's keep it here. We'll keep this if controller name is equals to what was the controller name? But we will have to do it like, can we do ternary operator here? Let me check. Something like this. This followed by the default value, which is this. I'm just showing you the code here. Okay. If the controller name is profiles, Then we will use this code, else we'll use this code. Let's see, will this work? We will have to remove race from our profile controller. Encountered syntax error while entering template this. I think ternary operator is not working. Ternary operator in embedded Ruby. Rails. Color this. It is working. Instead of this, if I write true, encountered syntax error while this. Okay, do. Okay, let's decrease the size. It was something related to indentation only. Why it was dependent on that, it's weird. But I'll get rid of this true and use the correct one. Refresh, and it should work. Reservation. In that case, it is not active. The internal one is active. We'll fix that also, but it is working technically. Okay, so let's do fix this. Okay, just to show it to you, first is profile path, second is class. In class, we are checking controller name profiles. If it matches with profile, we are setting these values. Okay, and if it doesn't match with profile, we are setting these values. Okay, and along with those values, these are the default values which will remain in either case. And finally, do and bracket close. You can go to my GitHub code also and find this code. Okay, so we will have to do something similar for this case also. If it is not selected, we are keeping it like this, and if it is selected, we are keeping it like this. So let's fix this. Similar to our case, let's go for embedded Ruby code. Controller name profiles this. If this one is the current controller, we'll use text primary. Otherwise, we'll use shrink text this. Let's see, refresh. And now it is looking correct, but the icon is not looking good. Why is it not looking good? Text primary. I think this text 400 is making it a bit bad. Yes. And if it is profiles, how does it look? Looks good. So all things look good. Let's copy this. No, copy this class only. Paste it here. Copy this, paste it this, and instead of this, let's use end. I hope this is clear. Uh, it took some time, but I think it's important. Reservations. And now it should work correctly. The icon is still a problem because reservations. Refresh, all looks good. Click is not working. We will have to fix that because we are using profile path. But what do we have to use instead? We have to use reservation path. So let's use a reservation. Refresh. Working, working. So now try to understand the power of UX also here. you can go to wish list from here, 2 clicks, and you will be able to access all the wish list. How often would it be that users will update their profile, personal information? It will be less, right? So 2 clicks, you can still access it, but we are not keeping it in a prominent way. It is not directly visible on the page. You still have to make a click and then it will be accessible. So that's why it's a good thing. And compared to profile, like if there are 100 profiles, a lot of them can update their details, but very less will make bookings. So we are keeping reservations and payments again here. Okay. And in any ways, if someone has made reservation, they will receive an email also. So that's how UX works. I hope it makes sense. Okay. Basically, we are trying to reduce number of clicks for each and every user, depending upon the priority of features we want to keep. Okay. So I'll keep it short now. What you can do is, I'll stop this video here. You can try to, in profile, we will obviously edit things. So don't worry about that. We'll do that later. But what you can do is in next video, I'll show I'll create a card in which I'll show property details, basic property details. Along with that, I'll show reservation details, and I'll show payment details also. So you can try to create those details as a list of reservations here. If the reservation has already been done and user has not reviewed that property, you can add a section for that they can review the property. So yeah, try these things on your own. If it works out, that would be great. So yeah, and in general, I have received good feedback for these. So thanks a lot for that. Feel free to comment on these videos, like, and definitely subscribe. And yeah, if you liked this video in this much depth, that's great. Thank you. Bye bye.